Bronny James doesn't belong in the NBA. Not yet. Some people say never. I don't believe that.
And he's a smart individual. He's I mean, he can do whatever he wants to do.
He can do whatever. Father-son duo to play together in an NBA game.
We all know how this story goes. Bronny James made it to the NBA, but let's be honest, it wasn't just his game that got him there. His last name carried a lot of weight. His dad? LeBron James, one of the greatest to ever do it. But recently, something went down that sent shockwaves through the basketball world. All season long, the Lakers have been feeding us a narrative. Bronny James is ready for NBA rotation minutes. They hyped up his defensive instincts, his motor, his grit, calling him a defensive hound who could lock guys down. But here's the thing the Lakers haven't been upfront about. They've been selling us a story that doesn't match reality. Bronny James isn't ready for consistent NBA minutes. And this isn't just about Bronny. Quincy Olivari went through this exact situation last year, and now Nick Smith Jr. is getting the same treatment. Why? Because LeBron James's legacy is being prioritized over pure basketball talent. We've watched this Bronny experiment play out all season. We've heard the excuses, the manufactured narratives, but now the truth is finally coming to light in the most undeniable way possible.
Duo ever to play in a game. I mean, what career achievement means the most to you besides the titles? We already talked about titles. Like this type of stuff. Like which one is the biggest deal to you?
I think besides the titles, obviously the titles rank right up there. There's something that when you get into it, that's all you play for. When you're able to get with a franchise and y'all all believe in the same thing, it's like special, man. Yeah, we are competing for championships every year without a question. And when you're able to accomplish that, it's like that's exactly what the hard work and dedication for. Yeah. But for me, obviously when it comes to the titles, that's one separate thing. But to be able to be in this league and play in this league and also being able to do it alongside Bronny right now, that's like one of the biggest accomplishments and probably the number one accomplishment I've ever been able to do. Like to work with your son.
The Lakers have officially assigned Bronny James to their G League affiliate, the South Bay Lakers. Think about that for a second. Why would a franchise like the Lakers, a team with LeBron James, arguably the greatest player of all time, send his son down to the G League? The truth is simple. They've been stretching the truth all season about Bronny being NBA ready. They told us he'd be a key rotation piece, but the reality? It's a completely different story. Bronny isn't ready to contribute at this level. Not yet. Maybe not for a while. Let's talk about what we've been seeing all season. Every time a new Call of Duty drops, guess who gets reassigned to the G League? That's right, Bronny James. Either it's the strangest coincidence in basketball history, or it's telling us something about where his focus really is. Now here's something everyone's noticed but nobody wants to say out loud. Bronny James seems far more passionate about Call of Duty than he does about basketball. You can see it in interviews, hear it when he talks about his off-season work, notice it in his energy when discussing what he's been grinding on. When reporters ask him what he worked on during training camp or over the summer, his answers are vague at best. He gives the same cookie-cutter responses every single time. I'm just keeping my head down, working on what got me here. That's basically code for, I haven't been working on anything specific. And the reason? Bronny spent his summer grinding Call of Duty camos, streaming with his friends, and living comfortably in a world where his basketball privilege lets him coast without facing real consequences.
Social media, I didn't have to deal with the social media trolls either growing up.
Oh, that's interesting.
And I didn't have to deal with my father being this fucking guy that's on the pedestal. I have to deal with that. Bronny has to deal with all of that. And if you ever meet Bronny, then you'll realize, you'll be like, I'm such an idiot to look down on him or not want him to do great. He is the most chill, easy, fun kid in the world. He goes to work, he goes home, he takes care of his body, he plays his video games, he reads a little bit, and then he comes back and does the same thing. And he's like the best big brother that his little brother and little sister could ever have. So, nice. But he's dealing with all that too. So, but that's going to make him, I think it's going to make him be even greater, because having to deal with all of the things that he's dealing with and still being able to come back from a life-threatening situation and still have that motivation still have the motivation. He didn't have to. Bronny doesn't have to play basketball at all. Right. It's not like he needs the money.
And here's the kicker. This is exactly what LeBron was afraid of. At some point, LeBron had seen enough. He'd catch Bronny up at 3 a.m. grinding weapon camos instead of studying game film. Eventually, the frustration reached a boiling point. So what did LeBron do? He shut off the Wi-Fi, thinking that would force Bronny to lock in on basketball. But what did Bronny do? He found workarounds. He kept playing anyway. LeBron had to take more drastic steps. He told Bronny, "You failed me for the last time." Now that might sound overly dramatic, but in reality, it's a father desperately trying to protect his son's manufactured NBA career. Eventually, Bronny got his own place with Wi-Fi in his own name, allowing him to chase what might actually be his real dream, becoming a Call of Duty content creator. Here's the thing, this shift might actually be the best move for Bronny. He's got the platform, the name recognition, and a built-in audience just from being LeBron's son. He could absolutely thrive in the streaming world without facing the uphill battle most unknown creators go through. But here's the darker reality. Bronny's basketball career is being overshadowed by his father's legacy, and it's painfully clear he's not ready to compete at the NBA level. The Lakers officially assigned Bronny James to their G League affiliate, the South Bay Lakers. If that doesn't tell you everything you need to know, I don't know what will. But the problems run deeper than just Bronny James. Quincy Olivari was a casualty of the Lakers' favoritism last season, and Nick Smith Jr. is facing the exact same fate right now. Let's rewind to last year. Quincy dropped 22 points in a preseason game against the Warriors. The guy was in tears afterwards, tears of joy, thanking God for the opportunity. Everyone watching could see he was legit. He had the passion, the talent, everything you want from a young player fighting for a roster spot. It was obvious Quincy was better than Bronny James. LeBron saw it, everyone saw it. But despite that, the Lakers chose Bronny because keeping LeBron's son on the roster mattered more than keeping the better basketball player. Quincy did everything right. He became friends with Bronny, worked out with him, helped him improve, played the ultimate teammate role. And the Lakers repaid him by cutting him loose. All that effort was for nothing because when it came down to LeBron's legacy versus an undrafted kid's NBA dream, we all know which one the Lakers were choosing. Now, Nick Smith Jr. is living through the exact same nightmare. He's exponentially better than Bronny and should be earning those rotation minutes, but the Lakers are doing exactly what they did to Quincy. It's heartbreaking, because Nick Smith Jr. is putting in the work, but none of it matters. Bronny's last name is the only thing keeping him on this roster. Imagine the mental toll on these guys. They know they're doing everything right. They know Bronny doesn't belong there based purely on talent, but the Lakers are choosing nepotism and legacy over merit. And the painful part? This whole situation is playing out on the biggest stage imaginable for the entire world to watch. Let's simplify this. In today's NBA, if you're a guard and you're not a star player, you need to be elite in at least one of three categories: ball handling, shooting, or defense. Bronny fails in all three.
Oh, y'all gonna be 2 and 3.
Elite ball handling. Can Bronny bring the ball up the court under NBA pressure? Can he create his own shot? Can he break down NBA defenders? The answer to all three is no. If he could do any of these things, the Lakers would be using him as a backup point guard. Instead, they're hiding him in the corner, hoping nobody calls it out. Elite shooting. This should be the easy path for a player who can't create his own offense. Just become a lights-out shooter and make yourself valuable as a floor spacer. But Bronny is shooting 29% from the field and 27% from three-point range. Those are numbers so terrible they'd get you benched in college, let alone justify keeping you on an NBA roster. Elite defense. The Lakers have tried to sell us on Bronny as a defensive hound, but when you actually watch him play against NBA athletes, the defensive intensity just isn't there. The instincts aren't there, the physical tools definitely aren't there. So if Bronny isn't elite at ball handling, shooting, or defense, then why is he on an NBA roster? The answer is painfully simple, because his father is LeBron James. Here's the real kicker. LeBron and Bronny are going to leave the Lakers at the same time, probably this summer. It'll be packaged as a mutual decision, but in reality, it's the only way to save face after this entire situation. Once LeBron retires or moves on, the Lakers will have zero justification for keeping Bronny on the roster. They can barely justify it now with LeBron still suiting up, but once he's gone, the whole thing falls apart. Keeping Bronny will be so obviously a charity case that even casual fans will call it out. LeBron knows this, the Lakers front office knows this, and that's why we're seeing this gradual transition to the G League. They're easing everyone into the reality that Bronny isn't NBA ready, and might never be. They're preparing the groundwork for when they both exit, trying to make it look less like a package deal, even though that's exactly what it is. So here's the question. Do you think Bronny will still have an NBA roster spot anywhere once LeBron leaves, or do you think they'll exit together as a package deal? Let me know in the comments below. If you think the Lakers should prioritize real talent over LeBron's legacy, hit that like button and subscribe.